do narcissists enjoy sex? If you've ever wondered about the sexual behaviors and motivations of narcissists, you're in the right place. Make sure to stick around until the end for some surprising insights. First, let's clarify what we mean by narcissism. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. It's important to distinguish between clinical NPD and someone with narcissistic traits, as they are not the same. When we talk about whether narcissists enjoy sex, it's crucial to understand that enjoyment and motivation for sex can vary significantly among individuals with narcissistic traits or narcissistic personality disorder. Let's break this down into key aspects: the motivations for sex, the role of control and power, the lack of empathy, and the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term satisfaction. First, let's explore the motivations for sex. For many people, sex is an expression of love, intimacy, and mutual pleasure. However, for narcissists, the motivations can be quite different. Many narcissists view sex as a means to an end, a way to achieve validation, admiration, and control. Imagine a scenario where a narcissist seduces a new partner. The initial attraction can be incredibly intense. Narcissists often engage in love bombing, showering their partner with attention and affection. This isn't necessarily because they feel a deep emotional connection, but because they crave the validation that comes from being desired. This initial phase can be incredibly intoxicating for both parties. However, it's driven by the narcissist's need for affirmation and control, rather than genuine emotional intimacy. This brings us to our next point: the role of control and power in sexual relationships with narcissists. Narcissists often see sex as a tool for asserting dominance and control over their partners. This can manifest in different ways, from using sex to manipulate their partner's emotions to being sexually aggressive to assert dominance. The underlying goal is often to feel superior and in control. But here's where it gets complex: the lack of empathy typical in narcissists can make genuine emotional and physical connection difficult. Empathy allows us to connect with our partners, understand their needs, and create a mutually satisfying experience. Without it, sex can become a mechanical act, focused more on self-gratification and less on mutual enjoyment. So, how does the lack of empathy impact sexual enjoyment? Well, it means that narcissists might enjoy the physical sensations of sex, but the deeper, the more meaningful connection that can make sex truly fulfilling is often missing. They may also struggle with understanding and responding to their partner's needs and desires, which can lead to a one-sided sexual experience. This brings us to an important distinction: the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term satisfaction. Narcissists might chase the thrill of conquest and the immediate gratification that comes with new sexual encounters. However, sustaining a fulfilling sexual relationship over the long term requires emotional depth, vulnerability, and mutual respect, qualities that are often lacking in narcissistic relationships. To summarize, narcissists can and often do enjoy the physical act of sex, but their motivations and the lack of emotional connection can lead to issues in sustaining a satisfying sexual relationship. They might view sex as a means to gain admiration, control, and validation rather than a way to build intimacy and mutual pleasure. But now, let's dive into some of the complexities and nuances. Not all narcissists are the same, and their behaviors can vary widely. Let's look at different types of narcissists and how their sexual behaviors might differ. Broadly speaking, narcissists can be categorized into two types: overt and covert. Overt narcissists are the ones we typically think of: flamboyant, attention-seeking, and often charming. Covert narcissists, on the other hand, are more subtle and might present themselves as shy or introverted, but still harbor grandiose fantasies and a sense of entitlement. Overt narcissists might be more likely to engage in promiscuous behavior, using sex as a way to constantly validate their self-worth and superiority. They might have many short-term relationships, always seeking the thrill of a new conquest. Covert narcissists, however, might use sex in more manipulative ways, such as playing the victim to elicit sympathy and control their partner. For example, an overt narcissist might boast about their sexual conquests and use charm to attract new partners, while a covert narcissist might guilt-trip their partner into sex by portraying themselves as neglected or unloved. Understanding these nuances can help us better grasp the diverse ways narcissism can influence sexual behavior. But now, let's take a look at what research says about the sexual satisfaction of narcissists themselves. Are they truly satisfied, or is there something missing? Research indicates that while narcissists may report high levels of sexual satisfaction, this often correlates more with the quantity of sexual encounters rather than the quality. They might feel satisfied by the number of partners or the frequency of sex, but this doesn't necessarily translate to a deep, fulfilling sexual relationship. This ties back to the idea of short-term pleasure versus long-term satisfaction. Narcissists might derive pleasure from the act of sex and the validation it brings, but their lack of emotional connection and empathy can leave them feeling unfulfilled in the long run. They often struggle to maintain long-term relationships where sex can become a deep, shared experience. Now, let's discuss the impact on their partners. Being in a sexual relationship with a narcissist can be challenging and emotionally draining. Partners may feel used, neglected, or manipulated, leading to a range of negative emotional and psychological effects. Partners of narcissists often report feeling like their needs and desires are secondary, if acknowledged at all. The lack of empathy and the narcissist's self-centered behavior can create a one-sided dynamic where the partner's satisfaction is not a priority. If you find yourself in a relationship with a narcissist, it's important to recognize these patterns and consider seeking support, whether through therapy or support groups. Understanding the dynamics at play can help you make informed decisions about your relationship and personal well-being. To wrap up, do narcissists enjoy sex? The answer is complex. While they might enjoy the physical sensations and the validation that comes with sexual encounters, their motivations and the lack of emotional depth often prevent them from experiencing the full, satisfying sexual connection that comes from a mutual, empathetic relationship. Thank you for joining us in exploring this intricate topic. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into the fascinating world of psychology. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself and others.